And the next is the requirements and test case coverage. What we should do in this section. You will take as a software test engineer the software requirement as an input, and you will start to write your test scenarios or your test case. Okay. So first, you will add all your requirement in this way. For our example, we don't have a lot of requirements, only this number of requirements, but the most important, keep the way or the process that we will follow to validate the behavior of our controller in the test, or our ECU, which come doors. Okay. So once you list your requirement, you can import them from your PDF document that shows all the requirements, software requirements. You can import them directly to your test plan by using some macros, or you can write them. But if you have a lot of many requirements, the most important to organize like a code or a macro in Excel, and you import them automatically in, for example, in the column A. Okay. Then you will have the description of each requirement. Also, this phase, this part you can import it from your documents which represent software requirement. Okay. So let's take the first requirement. We have, it's the kind of this requirement is functional. So look and unlock based on requests from console ECU. So the doors will be locked or unlocked based on the request which come from the other ECU, console ECU. Okay, so lock request will send it by the canvas to the doors ECU. This is the first requirement. The second requirement, functional requirement, look based on car velocity. We need to have as a condition ignition is on and the velocity more than 15 kilometers per hour. And also the current state should be unlocked. The current state of doors, of course. Okay. The third requirement, also functional requirements, raise or lower window by one level based on a state transition from not request to roll up or roll down. Roll up or roll down. Of course, when ignition is on, the ignition is on, we will notify it by a signal engine status. Okay. So we have for our example first, we have only 3 functional requirements. But if you have a big project, and for example, in some big company, you can have a lot of requirement, functional requirement. Also, you can have also non-functional requirement, or performance requirement. It depends to your projects. We have, in the second hand, another kind of requirement. We have CAN requirement. Our protocol is CAN, the protocol of communication between all the 3 ECUs. So we have some presentation of our CAN message. Okay. So for this software requirement is our software requirement and then the number. This is the ID of requirement. So the transfer CAN frame and signals. The first message we have Windows states. The ID is 4. It contains one signal, one CAN signal, which is called Windows position. Windows position, okay? And it will be sent if we have an event triggered, for example, like you press a button or you receive a message. It depends what we have. Okay. We have another message will be sent. Locking state. Locking state. It's a message sent by doors ECU, which contains one CAN signals log state. Log state, this is the name of the message, and this is the name of your signal. And the message contains many signals. In this case, contain one signal, log state. The ID is 2, the same way, triggered by events. We have another kind of frames, RX, which will be received in our CAN. So we have engine status. The ID is 0. The engine status sent by engine ECU. It contains two signals, velocity and engine status, ignition status. Okay. This is this message is sent to the CAN bus cyclically. Okay, each 100 milliseconds. So each one you will have an update of this message in your CAN bus. Okay, and then you will take it as an input for your ECU under test, and it depends to the values of this message to message. The doors will be roll down or roll up. Okay. The last message or the last requirement, the window requirement. The ID is 3. Sorry, we have another requirement, locking requirement. Okay, the ID is 1. Same way is the same like the TX message. It's sent if we have an event triggered. Okay. At the end, we have another message Windows request. Contain one signal window request. Okay, come from the console. Okay, and then when we have all the software requirements listed in our test plan in this sheet, we need to write the test scenarios or the test case that covers all this requirement. Okay. Note that also you can use this graphic or this form, these pictures like a requirement also. In the requirements, you can find some text, but also you can find some schematic or some diagram, and you can use it as a requirement also. And you can have a lot of kinds of form of your requirements. Okay, some signals representation or some signal acquisition that show the dynamic of your signal. Okay. So once the software test engineer knows all the requirements and understand that, he can start to write the test scenario. So in this stage, take only these two columns. Forget column C, D, and E. Okay, we will come back later.